if y'all don't see what's happening on the internet and in our society at large, especially in the last week, and who's being targeted, then you are actually in blind. But guess what? They're coming for you next. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Quam Teasy with the Christocrats and the Red Pill Reality, here with another video for you, talking about the things that are going on in our society and how it pertains to the believer who is politically smart and active, understanding that politics determines how the gospel gets spread, and knowing that our allegiance is to Christ first before everything else. And conservative values is the only ideology that supports that, if you really actually study it out. So this week, crazy things, man. Right now, this weekend is the 1-year anniversary of Charlottesville, the riot that happened in Charlottesville with that idiot, crazy person, white supremacist, whatever guy, drove through the crowd of people and killed a lady. And you see some of those stills. It's crazy, the photos of the guy like up in the air and stuff. It's crazy. And then the aftermath of that, where really a lot of the liberal leftists got their power from, where they started really ramping up the notion that Donald Trump is racist because he didn't come out and disavow the racist people within 2 seconds of it actually happening. And then when he did, the first time he did, when he came out and said something, he said there was good people on both sides, not knowing that he wasn't talking about the KKK people that were there. If you do just a little bit of research, you'll realize that there were other people there that were not affiliated with KKK or neo-Nazis, that actually they were the ones that had the permit to be there, and they were there as a free speech rally. And the some of the so-called alt-right people, which they're not really alt-right if you really look at it, all the fascists, all the racists, all the extreme racists always come from a liberal point of view, all throughout history. But that's another video for another time. They were there, and they weren't out in a whole lot of numbers, but they were there. There was 3 groups there in Charlottesville, and it's going to be the same thing this time. There's going to be the neo-Nazis and the KKK people, the Unite the Right. There's going to be the Proud Boys and constitutionalists, people who are for freedom of speech, that are going to be there. And then you're going to have Antifa, which I hate calling them Antifa because the name's short for anti-fascist, but they're the fascist ones. If you do your research, go look up on YouTube, here on YouTube, and look up how Antifa behaves itself. And then go back and reread how Washington Post, how the Huffington Post, how the New York Times, how all of these rags describe Antifa. They call them the counter-protesters. They put a nice name on it, counter-protesters, as if they are doing something noble. But they are the ones that are out there filling up water bottles full of concrete and pee and excrement and throwing and lobbing them at people, whoever they are. They're the ones starting the mess and then wondering why it's getting finished by other people. And so what's happened this week, what's crazy, is that freedom of speech is being come for, is being attacked in a way that's blatant. They don't even care anymore. They don't even care that it's that it's obvious. They don't care that it's obvious. You had Alex Jones, who I don't agree with everything he says and his methods or whatever, but he's a provocateur, and he's loud, and he takes his shirt off, and but he has been right on a whole lot of things. But they wiped him clean off of every platform except Twitter. And then recently, yesterday, it was yesterday before, they took Gavin McInnes off of Twitter. Like, they're just doing it and don't care. You could be next. I could be next. And, I'll make a suggestion. Now, I'm not technically savvy like that, and I don't have the money to do so, but if I did, I would start, or would want to start, our own conservative internet network that is more grassroots than what's out there already, that everybody can come and post their videos outside of YouTube, outside of whatever. They can come and post their videos and people can go there. Now, they would try to figure out a way to shut that down, but I say let's go outside of what they provide our own thing. Somebody do that. Somebody in the comments, if you know somebody in Silicon Valley that knows how to do that stuff, let's try to work out and get our own thing. But anyway, so it remains to be seen what's going to happen down there. The police presence last year was whack. They, if you go look up what actually happened, they didn't protect. They didn't keep the people separate. The program was supposed to be in a certain part of the park, and Antifa was blocking them, the people that had the permits to get there, and the cops would not separate them so that they could get into where which caused a bottleneck, which caused a confrontation. So it was crazy. So this whole Charlottesville thing, you're being lied to, and the point I'm trying to make is that they're coming for us. Like I said a couple of videos ago, they're coming for us, and we have to be able to stand for truth no matter what. What they do is they take terms and they twist them, and they lie, and they make things sound like they're not. The Bible talks about how in the last days, right will become wrong and wrong will become right, and it'll be very confusing. We won't know who to trust and what's right. But here's the thing. We as conservatives and Christians, we need to now more than ever be vocal about what is correct and let them know about what we are for, why it is advantageous for them to be with us, because you never can determine a counterfeit by studying the counterfeit. You have to study what the truth is, study the archetype, the real deal, so that you can tell it from a counterfeit. That's how they figure out with counterfeit money, how they can determine between counterfeit money. So same thing with us. We need to continue to speak truth, do it in love, let them know that we on our side have real compassion. We're really compassionate about the less than these and the immigrants, and American people, and how things should be done so that it helps everybody. Be very vocal about that so that the people can tell the truth from a lie. When you stand up and you're a light that cannot be hidden on a mountaintop, then they will flock to you. Those that really want truth. But we have to be able to do that, because now more than ever, they're coming after us. You see it again with Gavin McInnes. He's not really a believer, doesn't claim to be, but he's on the conservative side. And you had Alex Jones, and, they're going to come for everybody else. And you see how they came for Candace Owens, and Charlie Kirk. A lot of things happening, y'all. A lot of things happening. And you don't see none of this happening on the left side. You see this all attack against the right, against the conservatives. So those of you Christians who are criticizing, the whole thing with John Gray and the black pastors that went up there, you see that what's happening is God is beginning to separate the wheat from the tares. You're seeing like if you are going to go hard at people who are claiming to be Christians, and you're claiming to be a Christian as well, and you're going to go hard because you don't like the president, and you're going to start going hard on them, that shows more about your fruit than theirs. That shows more about the lack of your fruit than theirs as a believer. You need to really check yourself if that's who you are, and check to see if you're really in the faith. No lie. I'm real talk. You need to check to see if you're in the faith on that. So anyway, what's crazy is, my encouragement to you is that we need to stand up. We need to, now more than ever, know what we're talking about. Be open to hear and change, but don't be afraid to speak your mind, because we don't know how long they're going to allow it. My channel is a small little channel. I have a small little presence on Facebook or whatever, on Twitter, but, they're going to systematically come after us. But the Bible says don't be surprised when you are persecuted, because Jesus was persecuted first. Don't be surprised when the world hates you. When the world hates you, and they will. So I want you to be encouraged. We already have won the battle. We got November elections coming up. Y'all need to vote. Conservative values, not strictly Republican, definitely not Democrat, but what values that follow up and fall in line with what your belief system in Christ is. That's what will get us through this thing. Be strong, be courageous. Don't let, as more and more you see more and more conservative voices being silenced, that makes your voice that much more important as we go along. And trust me, we've already won. Donald Trump wasn't supposed to win. He wasn't supposed to win by any means. And that happened. Hey, it happened. So, as y'all can see, I got my New York Giants football season is coming on. I got another video that y'all can check out about the kneeling and what my opinion is on kneeling in the NFL and the craziness going on with that. A lot of things going on, y'all, but don't fret. Don't let your heart be troubled, like Hannity always says. It's in the Bible. But be encouraged and be confident in what you know is true and what's right, because they're going to keep trying to come in after us, and we're going to see somehow. I think Alex Jones, he's going to be fine. I think there's been so many crazy amount of downloads of his app, and we're going to see what's going on with the Proud Boys and Gavin McInnes. Some of their methods I may not agree with, but their ideology I do, and we should as well. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Check out my wife's book. It's called Labeled. It's on Kindle, Amazon. It's a great book, awesome book. It'll change your life if you're a woman, even a man as well. But, check out my other videos. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, all that good stuff. And we got more videos coming up for you. I got a bunch coming this way. We're almost at 1,000. Let's get to 1,000. I got something special planned if we get to 1,000 for the 1,000th subscriber. All right? So we love you guys. Remember, we are not left, we're not right, but up.